Hello, I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is the channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on and talk about some books. It is Sunday the 10th of April, which means it is week 2 of Realmathon or Realm of the Readathon by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I will link her announcement video as always down below, and we are going to start another weekly reading vlog. If you haven't already, please do go and check out my week 1 reading vlog, which I will link up above and down below as well. In that week I read 5 books, which was pretty impressive for me. As you may already know, because it is the 10th of April today, we are in the final leg of our 48-hour peace talks, and I'd love to know down below what you guys have been reading for these 48 hours of peace talks, where we get an extra 10 bonus points for every single book that we read. For me personally, I have been rereading all of the Heartstopper series. I reread Lore Olympus, I've reread a bunch of like little short story, fairy tale books, all those sorts of things, so I could get as many points for Team Bale as I possibly could. But for now, let's just have a quick chat about my TBR for the next week. For this week, I've kind of gone completely haywire in terms of my original Realmathon TBR to now. Most of the books have changed completely, and I think only one of the books that I'm reading this week is actually on my TBR. But that is because I am doing something new, something fun, something different, which is to read all of Sarah J Maas's books in publication order, irrespective of series, which means I am reading Throne of Glass, then Crown of Midnight, then The Assassin's Blade, then Heir of Fire, jump into Court of Thorns and Roses, and then go back to Throne of Glass for some more and just go back and forth until we finally make it to Crescent City at the very end. This is a little sneak peek to a project that I'm kind of taking on, which you will find out more about in the months to come, depending on how long it takes me to get through this entire series. But that means the first book that I'm going to be trying to read this month, in fact today, I'm starting it today, is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. And then another book that I do not have in hard copy, which is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. And then we've got Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. And then we are going to follow up that with A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is the only book on my actual Realmathon TBR, which I will link up above, of course. And this is again by Sarah J Maas. So it's a week of Sarah J Maas this week. So those are my reading plans for this week. As for today, I'm just going to get stuck into Crown of Midnight, read the book and listen to the audio at the same time, because I have discovered that that is the best way to retain this content. And then hopefully do a quick trip out to Greenwich towards the end of the day to get some coffee, have some ice cream from this boutique little coffee chocolate ice cream place that sounds amazing, and I will of course take you guys along with me. So I will see you in a bit when I have something to say about Crown of Midnight. I'm back and am up to the end of chapter 6, I believe, in Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, and I'm so glad I'm doing this reread because I'm still really enjoying this more than I thought I would. Apologies for the reflection you're probably seeing in my glasses, but I can't see, so we're just gonna keep going with it. The first thing I noticed, and this is probably because I'm romantically minded, is that Sarah J Maas seems to be making it very clear that Dorian is like in love with the idea of Selena and the fact that she challenges him, and she's different to the other women at court and she's beautiful, whereas Chaol is actually in love with the actuality of Selena, whether that be her beauty or her strength or her brutality or her history. But speaking of those acts and that service, she is towing a really dangerous line in pretending to be an assassin, and I can't remember exactly how this turns out. I'm pretty sure it's not in her favor, so I really do worry about it, especially because the king keeps toying with this ring on his finger, and I'm like, oh, I know where that ring is and I know where that's gonna lead. I mean, this book in the series definitely has a lot more courtly politics than the first. I think the first one was a lot of like setup, a lot of sort of background of all the characters and then relationship building, whereas this one is a lot more political. There's a lot more politicking going on. But since I've just finished chapter 6, and you can't finish chapter 6 without mentioning my favorite character in the entire series, and that is Mort. I have been waiting for this door knocker, little sarcastic ball of brass or whatever he is made of, to appear. He is one of my favorite characters. I love how sassy he is. I love that he puts Selena in his place and that he laughs so much when she's trying to like lie to herself and to him, and he's just like, no, I know who you are, come on. I'm also finding it really interesting how PTSD is explored in this book, and trauma as well. Not just for Selena through sort of the more obvious sides of things, like the battle that she faced with Cain at the end of the first book, and then her time at Endovia, and obviously this history that she has in her own family, but also with Chaol as it relates to Cain as well. And you can tell that Sarah J Maas in her books really doesn't shy away from exploring mental health. But anyway, that is my end of chapter 6 update. I'm probably going to try and keep these these updates less frequent because I don't want this video to go on for 3 years. So you will probably see me again tomorrow, that being Monday. I'm heading into the office tomorrow, so I'm sure I'll insert some lovely footage here of the sort that I did last time in my last vlog. Please do check that out if you haven't already. The link is in the description below. You know, elevator doors opening and closing, train rides, all that sort of fun stuff. So I will see you in my next update. This is probably the worst, most disorganized reading vlog out there because I started this on Monday and it is now the following Monday and I haven't filmed any updates in the meantime. I was in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I had no time to film, obviously. Then I was off from Thursday over the long Easter weekend, which it has just been. Then it was the Easter weekend, so I was off from Thursday through to today and had some friends from Wales come to visit, so it was a packed couple of days. So I've literally filmed nothing, read almost nothing, but I'm somehow still halfway through Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, so you know what? I'm proud. And if you've read Crown of Midnight, you probably know what's coming next, which is that I am absolutely reeling at the moment because the thing that just happened in the book I thought would happen at the end of the book. I don't know why, but that's how I remembered it. And now I'm just reeling, I'm crying. I'm like, oh, it's breaking me up because it's the scene I've been dreading. But going back to where I left off from my last update, and I just have to say, damn Sarah J Maas for making me ship Selena and Kale so damn hard because they would just make the most perfect, cute couple, but I know it's never gonna happen. But also, damn Sarah J Maas for making me hate Selena because she is probably my least favorite protagonist that I've ever met. She's so full of herself, she's so vain, she makes me so angry. I think Sarah J Maas is trying to write her as like brave, brutal, honest, strong, all those sorts of things, but it's just coming across as abrasive, violent, vindictive, vain. Ugh. And I mean, why does everybody treat Selena like she's this miracle child? It's no wonder she has this insane inflated ego because everybody's treating her like she's the chosen one or something like that. And yeah, she's amazing at killing people, but I mean, she's not God. Onto the broader story, Sarah J Maas is amazing at creating atmosphere. She's giving me these feelings of this castle being like dark and gothic and secretive, and not only literally having secrets hidden behind the walls, but figuratively as well. Everything just feels so gothic and atmospheric. The story itself is already expanding so much and getting so much more complicated after the first book. It's really setting things up for the rest of the series as you get introduced to the magical system, the political intrigue, the magical history, the past and present royal families, and how their actions have impacted on each other. I'm really struggling to keep track of everyone and whose side they're on, so it's like I need a map to like write everything out and how everyone's connected, and I'm literally debating by myself like a little billboard of being like, this is Selena, she's connected to this person and this person through this way, and like red string, blue string, all that sort of stuff. But from where I'm at the moment, I think both the first and the second books can be summed up in the words coming into power. Most of the core cast is on some sort of journey to self-discovery as it relates to their powers and their history, and these books just feel like a lot of setup and not a heap of plot other than this sort of mystery. I just really need answers to some of these major plot points because I don't know how it's going to retain my interest if it's just constant questions building up, and then it's only answered in like the last book. But anyway, that is my update for where I'm at the moment in Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. Like I said, I'm about halfway through. I'm reeling at the moment because that big scene that everybody knows happens in Crown of Midnight has just happened and it's killing me because I really, really love that character. Today I'm going to try and get some reading done, but as I said, this is like the last day of my reading vlog and I had plans to read like 5 books this week and I haven't even finished one. So I'll insert some clippy clips here of everything that I've been up to over the past week, what I'm up to today, which I'm going to an arcade, gonna spend some money that I don't have, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit with my next update. We are at the end of week 2 of Realm of the Readathon and I have finally finished Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I went into this week hoping to read like 5 books by Sarah J Maas and completely botched that because of Easter weekend, work, you've heard it all before. But I'm glad to at least have finally finished this so I can finish out this vlog with at least my full views on one book. So Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, I gave this book 4 stars, which is less than the 5 stars that I gave it the first time I read it, but I think that's because the first time I read it I was truly floored by the ending and that just boosted up the star rating. The first thing I have to say about this book is Kale is an idiot. I'd truly forgotten just how flooring the ending was the first time I read it, and I still found it flooring this time, but now that I've read this book for a second time, I'm seeing all the different things that wove together that made it this big reveal happen, and it totally makes sense, and I saw all the little indications so many times throughout the book. As you know from my previous updates, there were a lot of questions and a lot of loose ends in this book, and I was getting really frustrated with them, and I'm still leaving it with a lot of these questions and loose ends, but I think enough has been tied up for me to sort of keep going and know where I am in the power and the magic system, at least. Again, as I've said before, Sarah J Maas is just queen at writing atmosphere, and the atmospheric style of this writing and this book just really places you in some of those more spooky, creepy scenes, like when she's meandering through the various tunnels in the backs of the palace and all the gothic tapestries and the dark rooms. It's just so atmospheric. I think this time reading the book I connected more with the characters, enough so that I actually felt sad or happy or whatever whenever the characters experience real big things happening in their lives, and then obviously when you get halfway through the book and that one big thing happens, I genuinely felt sad, which I didn't the first time. Brief spoiler moment here, I will put my hand down when the spoiler is over. My absolute favourite moment had to be how Nehemia's death was used as a sort of breaking point for the rebel movement, especially in Calacolor, and it really pushed Selena into being the person that she needed to be rather than the person that was really pushing everything to the side and willing to keep this relationship going with Cale and be distracted. Spoilers over now, so you're all good. I will have to say though, I still hate the character of Selena. I think she's so vain, I think she's so ridiculous. I think everybody hypes her up to be this amazing person when Dorian and Cale are fighting over her and they're like, she's amazing, she's lovely, she's the best, and I'm like, no, she's a bitch. She's horrible. Anyway, in total it took me about 10 days to read this book, and that is absolutely shameful to me considering it is only like 420 pages, but I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I'm going to wrap up this incredibly unsuccessful reading vlog right here. I have only read one book and that is not what I wanted to do, but hopefully we're going to kickstart next week with an even better reading week. I'm going to get more done, at least 2 books hopefully. Let me know down below what you thought of this vlog, if you liked it, if you hated it, if you like my thoughts on the book, if you disagree with anything I said. Love chatting to you guys down below. Also let me know what team you're on and how many points you are gaining for your team. Team Bale all the way. Let me know what you're reading, if you're loving it, hating it, all that sort of stuff. Chat to me down below. As always, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I release new content, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Bye!